right, that's okay then. Now, last on Tuesday, of course, we had that decision by the MPC of the CBN to hold rates again until the next meeting. We haven't really heard reaction from the CBN, so let's do that this morning with Mr. Victor Obo, the Director, Monetary Policy Department at the Central Bank of Nigeria, joins us virtually. Mr. Obo, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Good to have you, sir. So the decision was largely expected, so I don't think we've seen any boats rocked after that hold decision, and the considerations largely accepted by a lot of economists and analysts. But forward guidance is what we would like from the CBN, especially when we see that Iran and US talks, that has broken down, and now the Houthi attacking, they've joined it, and there's the fear of expansion. And of course, we know what that means for energy prices here in Nigeria and around the world. So what's the forward guidance from the CBN following all that's happening globally and how it fits into the country, our economy?
Thank you again, once again, and good morning, Nigerians. As you rightly put it, and I'm happy to hear that no boat is rocked, and the decisions of the MPC are in consonance with the expectation of economic agents. In terms of outlook or forward guidance, you have mentioned the big elephant in the room, which has to do with the conflict in the Middle East, especially the resumption of hostilities. That poses a significant risk to the outlook, and all that is happening in terms of forward guidance revolve around the outcome of the tension in the Middle East. However, the outlook is positive in Nigeria, because Nigeria has some relative advantage over some other economies. If you observe carefully, since the outbreak of the war on February 28, there have been some significant challenges in some economies. Exchange rate in some economies have depreciated significantly, warranting huge intervention to be able to bring some level of stability. In some other countries, inflation had flared up higher in terms of rate, in terms of momentum of increase than we have seen in Nigeria. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that the prior reforms that were undertaken in Nigeria helped a long way to shield the economy from the adverse impact of the war. And we believe that those reforms, as they continue to be implemented, will help to reduce the impact of the war on the economy. You can see the exchange rate, it has been very stable to a large extent. The pressure has been contained, and we've been having liquidity in the exchange rate window, the exchange rate market, showing again the resilience of the economy. Our currency has been relatively stable, and with inflows coming in, I am sure that we'll be able to weather the storm, irrespective of the resumption of hostilities. The second advantage we have as a country is the Dangote refinery that has kicked in and has been working. Even though a substantial quantum of crude is still being imported, but of course the refinery and the supply that it has provided is also able to shield Nigeria to some extent from the vagaries of the hostilities in the Middle East. So in a nutshell, the outlook is relatively positive, and we are hopeful that in the near term, those hostilities will be resolved, and inflation will be able to continue on a downward trend.
Factors driving inflation in Nigeria, a lot of people have argued that it's not, about demand, it's more about the structure of it. So when we put that side by side with most of the responsibility coming from the fiscal side, because you talk about issues of logistics, infrastructure, insecurity, these are the major threats to Nigeria's inflation and all. But when you put this side by side with the politics is the season is upon us already. The festive season is also upon us in a couple of months. If I heard there's Christmas in July now, people are starting stocking up for July, and of course we know what that can do: higher demand, higher prices. Has the CBN thought about perhaps how we could handle this so it doesn't hurt the real economy so much, but at least we can find a balance amidst these factors?
Well, thank you. Is part of the considerations of the MPC, and the MPC continue to evaluate the incoming data as relates those factors, particularly the level of liquidity in the banking system that is in tandem with economic activities. So going forward, the MPC is aware of the festive season. Even beyond that, the MPC is aware of election-related activities and spendings that could, of course, threaten stability in prices. All these are taken into account, and the bank is fully prepared. The level of banking system stability, liquidity is assessed on a daily basis, and where there is need for mopping, the appropriate instruments are available. We have the OMO, we have the corridor, the standing deposit facility. All the instruments are there. So it is not just the use of MPR, the policy rate. There are other complementary instruments that are being used to ensure stability in the banking system, so that it doesn't lead to increase in money supply and, of course, inflationary pressure. The other point that is important is the kick-in of the early harvest. Remember that when you disaggregate headline inflation, one of the stubborn components is food inflation. And as we approach the early harvest season, definitely that is going to help to a sort of reduce the pressure from that level. Again, the level of collaboration between the monetary policy and fiscal authority has also deepened in recent times, and this is even going towards the point of identifying pressure points in terms of supply side constraints, and the fiscal authority is committed and is doing so much to see that those bottlenecks are removed and those pressures are defrayed to be able to bring down inflation.
So, sir, just before we let you go, the CRR, that was also retained, and the real sector say that's really huge, the 45%, especially for commercial banks. I wonder if we can understand more the CRR at that point, and there's no meeting until September, so we'll have to wait until then. Yeah, the CRR. The CRR at 45% is we know that is somehow high, and it's not the decision, it's not the wish of the committee to keep the CRR at that level for a long time. But again, the decision is always driven by data analysis. At the moment, the CRR had remained there as a temporary measure, hoping that will be able to some form of sterilize the huge liquidity in the banking system, and then being able to bring down inflation. And as soon as inflation comes down to a reasonable level, definitely we need to reduce the CRR ratio to give some relief to businesses,
and even households. We know that businesses need the cash. The other point I want to bring here is that with the recapitalization exercise that has recently been concluded, banks also have additional capital. So in terms of capital adequacy within the banking system, I will assure you that they have enough capital, and that level of competition we are hopeful after the recapitalization exercise will be able to push credit more to the real sector and stimulate economic activities.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Victor Obo, Director, Monetary Policy Department at the Central Bank of Nigeria. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.